My name is Sarah, professional interior designer and creator of the blog She Holds Dearly. On this channel, I like to talk about making a home beautiful on any budget.
Well, hey, and it's been a while since we have convened in this particular room of my house to discuss the progress surrounding the 2025 kitchen makeover that we are doing. Last year, we redid the wood floors in the house. They are fir, which is a very common wood in Washington State, and so I'm sure that's why they did fir floors in this farmhouse, but it's a very soft wood as well. And so that's not what I would suggest for wood floors. We went ahead and refinished them. Love them. The color's perfect. And the dogs still are scratching, but they are definitely the culprit. I originally thought it was because we were wearing our shoes in the house. No, it's the dogs. It's 100% the dogs. So we keep their nails trimmed as short as we can, and we try to do that often, and that helps. Okay, then we raised the cabinets. It's all an illusion. They aren't actually functioning storage areas, but we added trim and a riser, and we took the cabinets to the ceiling on the two sides of the kitchen, and that instantly raised the ceilings, made it feel bigger in here and more high-end. I think that's a good trick if you want to make your kitchen look more high-end. I love that. That was great. Then we replaced the granite counters, which was my least favorite part of this room, and I wanted something a lot cleaner and quieter looking and easier for me to photograph on. And so we ended up getting some quartz countertops. That was a huge change in here, and I love them. I've so enjoyed having them. And then you can see behind me, we also switched out our sink at the same time and our faucet as well. And you know, I had asked questions when we installed that faucet. I felt like it was too big. Do you remember that? And we gave up our sprayer because of the style of the wall mount faucet. And so that made me a little nervous. And then the faucet that we put in felt too big, like it was coming too far into the sink. And I debated returning it and getting one that had less depth. Update, we stuck with the original new one, and I love it. It's so big that it almost acts like a sprayer. Like if I swivel it like this, I can rinse out my sink. And then it's so tall that even if the sink is full of dishes, I can, get under there and fill something up with water, and it's not a problem. It's like having a pot filler. I love it. I'm so happy with that faucet. Isn't that funny how things work out like that? Their little quirks actually become the best parts about them. I don't miss my sprayer at all. And it's really tall, so I can get water when I want. Okay, so those are the big things that we have done. Today, I want to talk about what we're doing next, what is on order, and the final things that we can look forward to. The first thing I want to tell you is that we have a stove picked out. It's the Nostalgie, I think that's how you say it, Nostalgie Ilve stove, and it's in black. It's a 30-inch. Now, I only have 30 inches to work with. If I go any bigger, I'm literally damaging a lot of cabinetry and these brand new counters. So I can't go any bigger. But what I wanted, the original idea was to get the little add-on brass claw feet to put at the front of the stove because they're so cute. And come to find out, Ilve doesn't offer that feature on the 30-inch stove. So they said, why don't you buy a bigger stove and then you can have the clawfoot look. And I can't because I will damage my cabinets. It's one thing to cut countertops, but I'm not gonna cut these cabinets. So what I'm gonna do, I ordered the 30-inch and they're making it in Italy. I think it's gonna be 3 months until it's ready and they ship it here. That's gonna be so fun. I just wanna do a whole video on that when it arrives. I'll just DIY those claw feet and I'll gild them and they'll look like brass. So let's see if I got myself into trouble. And actually Ilve said, oh, that's a good idea. I don't know if they meant that or not. But they said, oh yeah, try it and then we're interested to know how it turns out. And and what you did. We'll see. Might be sorry I got that idea. So that's coming soon. And today I want to talk with Colby about the paneling that we want to do on the walls in here. I've got two options. There's pros and cons to both of them. Actually interested to know what you like best and what you would do. And then let's talk about some little custom features and things that I want to add on in here and see what you think about those as well. I actually haven't told him about them either, so we'll see what he thinks. You know, we should tell you, this microwave doesn't work. It's been years. How many years do you think?
5.
5 years? It hasn't worked. Do you know what this is used for? The door barely even stays shut. It is used for a, basically a protective safe.
Hiding cookies.
Hiding cookies, scones, things that you don't want the dog to get into. That's where it is. This is useless otherwise, and it definitely doesn't have the design aesthetic I'm going for. So it can go. And we have a tiny microwave. When he first put this up, I remember it was Christmas time, and it was kind of an add-on for me that you were gonna hang the microwave as part of my Christmas gift. Times change. Now we're taking it down as a birthday gift. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Look at that. Okay, you want to see what this looks like, people? Every step you take on a project, it's like the vision becomes clearer usually. I want copper pans on S-hooks here, and maybe a piece of art here, and then something that comes down like corbels to give it this sort of hearth look. I think that's really key for getting an old world kitchen look, is your stove needs to be a focal point, and you need to do some type of a mantle feel with corbels or something, and they call it like a hearth look. Very European. Okay, so that's the first thing we're doing today. Well, I am so blessed by the way Colby continually helps me around the house with these projects and puts in his 2 cents and gives me his expert engineering view of what my idea is. And one of the ways that I love to take care of him is by having good food for him. So Green Chef is helping us this week. They're partnering with us for this video. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna be out of town. I'm gonna go see my blogging YouTuber friends that I like to visit every year, which means I'm not gonna be here to keep the food coming. So I am excited to have the #1 clean eating meal kit delivered to our door. They're easy enough. Colby can do this, no big deal, but I also can quickly get these together before I leave, and I'm excited about that. I was really drawn to their farmers market quality and their organic produce. I love that their recipes are globally inspired oftentimes, and everything is prepped and measured. You can choose from over 80 different weekly menus, and they accommodate over 8 different dietary needs. Click on the link in my description box and use my code 50 sheholdsdearly. That'll get you 50% off your first order plus free shipping, and then 20% off on the following 2 months if you continue on. Okay, so next question. The panels that I picked out. This one's cedar, 8 feet. Okay, so we like that because when it's time to go from ceiling to floor, piece of cake, no butt joints. It's a tongue and groove. This comes in a 4-pack, got this at Home Depot, and it's very smooth. Now, I mean, if you wanted to use the naughty part, you know, by staining it and you wanted that look, this would be great. I'm planning on painting it, so, oh, it smells good too, which I would be covering with paint. But the only thing I don't necessarily know I like about this is the width. So if you look at my inspiration pictures, I don't know, they're more like 4, 5, 6 inches wide. And so I'm wondering if this, what is this, 3.5?
Probably.
3.5. 3.5 inches wide for those planks. Is that gonna look, you know, closer to like a beadboard wannabe or something like that? Okay, so that's one. You hold this one.
The difference is 2 inches.
Between these two? Well, that's a lot. That's a different look. Okay, so then I got this. American planking, it's called. If you go to Home Depot, ours, it was on the aisle with all the millwork. Do you know that aisle? We're in there all the time. This is a gray color, which I don't care because I'm gonna paint it. But look at the width. This is not tongue and groove. These are just little planks. You can see. I think it's thicker though than, not much.
3/8 versus a quarter. It's that 1/8 inch difference.
Are there 3 boards in here? 6 boards in here?
I think there's 4.
These are not as tall. That's what I don't like about these. They're not as tall, so I mean, to get to the ceiling, we would need 2.5 of these babies. They're not as smooth, so they won't have as finished of look. We'll get a lot more texture when we paint it. And what I do like about them though is the width, I think. So, okay, look at that width. So we were gonna put some samples up right now and try to make a decision. I hate to waste something that I could have returned. You know, that's something I preach is put money into samples, because $100 is not the same as $1,000, right? Or 10 years of things you don't like. That's another option you have. Okay, so we're gonna do some samples. I'm gonna cut some samples. Colby would like to work specifically on this space where we just took out the microwave. I think that's a good idea. We didn't do traditional backsplash with tile or anything in here. I was okay with that. I thought carefully through that. I researched it and I've seen it done before. We're gonna do wood paneling, painted, good paint, seal it real well. And that's gonna be my backsplash. She's so cute. I get all the scraps of cedar to put in my drawer with my one cashmere sweater. Okay, Colby just read the package and you have to let it acclimate to the moisture in the location that you're in. So we're just gonna do a sample. So we're not gonna wait 3 days. If we were to go to do this project, we would wanna factor that in and be prepared to let it get used to the moisture. Today's vocabulary word is acclimate. Say it with me. I'm just kidding, you don't have to say it. We're gonna do a second sample here with our gray barn wood. We might want to paint it before we put it up. Gosh, I like the width on that. This is the color that I believe we're gonna use. This is the trim in our Anne of Green Gables room upstairs. So I've already used it, I love it. I actually don't love a million colors in a house. I feel like you get your solid color palette and then you repeat them throughout the rooms. So, I mean, Revere Pewter, French Gray, you're gonna see that kind of stuff repeated throughout my house. Okay, so this is our sample, but this is still not giving me an understanding of the textures going on and how they're gonna play together, the widths of these boards. So I did grab the actual can. Well, it's almost full. I'm going to do some quick painting here just to give us an idea. I took the Ferro and Ball color I took the color to Sherwin-Williams and I had them mix it up. Emerald base, which I like, so that's an option. They can make all the colors of the mainstream paint companies for you. I think every once in a while it will change the color a little bit, but I think it's pretty safe. They're pretty good at mixing colors correctly. You probably can't tell on camera, but there's a lot of texture. A lot. Very different from the cedar. It really does, when you paint it, it does show up with a little bit of the divot. Okay, it's already starting to look better. We got our samples up to live with for a week. These actually are for my porch. I bought a bunch of these to finish our pillars on the porch, so I grabbed them. They're too big. I think too we might want to put a shelf here. I want to hang copper pans. This is not the right size, but I was thinking of like an oil painting here. You getting the vision there? This was hanging here before. We might have to custom make something, but I like this curve and then all the way down to the counter. I think that's real key. Now on this side of the cabinet, there's nothing, and there's not a depth. Like there's not very much depth here. The door frame isn't even the correct width. We cut it down. See what I mean? And then that's that other side. This may not be a good idea, but I have hopes of doing a very shallow shelf here. I actually like a built-in type cabinet, and then you run a dowel. It's a plate rack for platters. So I have lots of decorative platters, big oval serving pieces and this kind of stuff. And I could just slip them in on the shelf that would come out, I don't know, a couple inches. Have you guys done these plate racks before? And then, of course, you add in a dowel to stabilize it. So that brings us to what I call the knick-knack shelf. I don't care for the angles. I feel like they kind of have an 80s feel to them. But I have since loved the idea of having a shallow shelf here for my glasses. I think that's really pretty. I like it from the different angles in the house. And so I'm not opposed to having a 3-tiered shelf here, but I might want to try to rebuild it just with simple rectangles. And have you seen the brass railing? And I don't think we need the top. I think that's the weirdest part, is the crown piece is just kind of out there. It's not something that we need to like decorate with. So it would just be the 3, and then I'll add the brass and paint it green, and then do this again. All right, well, that's enough for this week to be thinking about. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button so I can send you more videos on how to make your home a sanctuary. That is what we love to do over here at She Holds Dearly. And otherwise, I will see you next week. Take care, I'll talk to you soon.